Hello and welcome to another edition of Profit from the Pod. I'm Tom Rowe, your podcast host. Let's talk about side hustles. My side hustle was actually completed in a police department parking lot last Sunday, and I walked away with $125. Ready for the backstory of the $125 walk away from the police department parking lot? I was going through Facebook Marketplace a few months back, and I came across a ad for free glasses. There was over 120 Preakness and Kentucky Derby glasses that this gentleman was giving away. He was moving away to Florida, cleaning out his garage. So I went over and I thanked him for the glasses. And I said, "Do you have anything else that you were either going to give away or maybe donate?" And he said, "Certainly, I do. I have these 4 or 5 boxes of Fiesta ware. Fiesta ware is usually dinnerware, and it was cups and saucers and plates and bowls and salt and pepper holders and things like that. I think they were big in the 70s and 80s, as well as these glasses that I got were from the 70s and 80s, so they're definitely vintage. Placed them up on Facebook Marketplace maybe 3 weeks, and I had a lot of people interested in them. Facebook Marketplace sometimes gets a little fickle because people kind of say, "Do you still have what you are advertising?" I would say yes. But now I found a better way to do that. I just have everything automated. So AI takes care of that for me. If someone asks me if I still have the item, an automated text goes back to them and said, "Yes, would you like to talk about the price or whatever it is that you have questions about?" So I answered the Facebook Marketplace question, and I met a gentleman at the local police station parking lot. That's where I do all my Facebook Marketplace meetups, because you'd have to be pretty crazy to commit any type of crime outside the police department station. It makes me feel better. And I think a lot of times, especially when I sell things to women, that might make them feel a little bit better. Not just because I'm a man, just because I think anybody needs to feel safe when they do public transactions. I do Facebook Marketplace only if I can get items at a very good price. A lot of times I get items free. So what I do is I take a look at them. If I get them for free, I try to make at least $25 every time that I meet somebody. Otherwise, it's just not worth it for me. And it's usually bigger items. My other side hustle is eBay. I've been selling on eBay since 1999 on and off. And I have sold everything from sporting tickets to golf clubs to vintage men's clothing, some women's clothing. Two of the more interesting items that I consistently sell on eBay are vintage board shorts and vintage Carhartt jackets. You know, the ones with the canvas material, J140s and earlier. Some of the board shorts, typically the Andy Irons board shorts, could sell over $200 each. I find probably 2 or 3 pairs of these board shorts in a season. And the second item that talked about is the Carhartt jackets. And these jackets are easy to find if you know where to look. You probably won't find any at Goodwill. Goodwill is not a good place to source vintage clothing. There's too many people having their hands in the product before it actually gets to the floor. And I find that every time I go to Goodwill, I remember the last time I told myself, I'm not coming here again because the items are overpriced. And sometimes you really just can't find enough to make it worthwhile. So I go to the church sponsored or the not-for-profit sponsored thrift stores. I find their pricing is better, and I find more they're on the up and up. And I like to support specifically the small church thrift stores. The one that I like to go to, I've already talked to the ladies that run them. I tell them exactly what I'm doing. They say, "Go ahead, buy as much as you want because we're looking to sell as much as we can. We have items that we give to people who are needy. Those people come in first, and they are all the clothing that they need. So I am not buying clothing that is going to be taken away from somebody who is underserved or less fortunate than I am. Typically, I will share some of the profits with those thrift stores when I end up selling for a profit the items that I buy. And 9 times out of 10, when I give them a check, well, I would say 10 times out of 10, when I give them a check, They are overwhelmed with excitement. I've even gotten hugs from the volunteers there when I give the checks to the grandma ladies. And you know what? Who doesn't need a hug from a grandma lady every once in a while? Makes you feel good. Makes you feel like you're doing something good. I'm helping out the thrift stores. The thrift stores are helping me out. I get to know the people. It's more so that you treat people with respect, and they will make sure that you are happy. Those are two of the side hustles that I like to use. I like Facebook Marketplace, and I like going to thrift stores and selling the items on eBay. Hopefully, this gives you a little bit of an insight onto two side hustles that anybody can do. You don't need to be really smart, because I have never been confused with being the smartest person in the room, even when I'm in the room by myself. All it takes is a little hard work. This is not a get rich scheme. You do have to work for eBay, and you have to have a lot of patience selling through Facebook Marketplace, because there are a lot of people who will ghost you. A lot of ghosts on Facebook, but you'll work through it. I hope that helps you out with two side hustles from Profit from the Pod. As always, I appreciate you listening. And as a wise woman told me many times, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Be kind. Thank you.